Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only.
Hey guys, Jacob here. It is currently the 30th of June 2020, and that's going to be the final week of June, which is going to be the last week for this month's vendor reset. This week, the front desk vendor is selling the Invisible Hand. That's the named item he is selling this week. This has the 12% rate of fire, which is perfect Allegro. This one has 11% assault rifle damage, 12.5 health damage, and 10.4 reload speed. Next is going to be the PP-19 submachine gun with crit damage, crit chance, SMG damage, and breadbasket. G36C enhanced with rate of fire, health damage, assault rifle, and on empty. PX4 Storm type F with damage to armor and pistol damage. Alp Summit backpack, crit chance, crit damage, and companion. Hilo chest piece with reassigned skill haste, weapon handling, and 1 or 2,000 armor. Offense system dexterity for crit damage, which is 10.3. So if you guys are trying to make a crit build and need some crit mods, I'd recommend picking these up. They're not max, but obviously you're going to want these if you don't have them. Micropulse frequency for the pretty much the drone, which is 4.2 damage. Weather coating for the extra mortar for the turret, and the improved sticky launcher for the 4.2 skill haste for the sticky. Now the next vendor, if you guys are not in the clan, you pretty much won't be able to access at all, so I recommend joining a clan if you guys want to be able to get access to the vendor here. And every week he sells some pretty interesting stuff, so it'd be nice if you guys do that. That way you can just have access to this vendor. This week he's selling the Pyromaniac, which has low assault rifle damage, which is 9%, 13% health damage, and max crit chance. So if you guys need max crit chance on an AR or just need the roll, then I'd recommend buying it just for the roll. Or if you guys do not have the weapon, I'd recommend buying it as well. Or you could farm for a new one in the loot allocation assault rifles. Next is going to be this Negotiator's holster with 12.7 weapon damage and skill damage. This Ace's holster, which has max weapon damage. So if you guys do not have a Ace's holster, I'd recommend picking this one up pretty much immediately. That way you guys can get a double stat on your holster. Striker chest piece with 9% weapon damage and 7.5 weapon handling. M45A1 tactical with breadbasket and max damage to armor. So if you guys are looking for max damage to armor for a pistol. ACS-12 with health damage to armor and shotgun damage with vindictive. Walker Harris holster with 12.3 weapon damage and 8.2 explosive resistance and 6.5 weapon handling. Roddy's holding a backpack with 12% critical hit damage. So if you guys are trying to make a sniper build, I think you guys might want to pick this up due to the fact you can get repair skills and put crit chance or headshot damage and use composure while you're in cover. It's obviously not the 25 from Vigilance, but it'll still work. SCSG-12 with Eyeless, optimal range damage, armor, and shotgun damage. Alp Summit holster with 18,935 health, which is max. Roddy's holding gloves with 9.8 crit hit damage, 19.4 repair skill, and 10% weapon damage. Defense Protocol Resilience with 8.9 binder and def resistance. The Metal String for the damage for the Chem Launcher. The Cementous Material for the active regeneration for the shield. And the Microwave Amplifier for the cone size for the pulse. And that's going to be about it for the first front to desk vendors. Next up is going to be the Theater Settlement. This week he's selling the Boomstick with max damage to armor, low stability, and low shotgun damage. But if you guys don't have this, obviously you can pick it up. But I'm pretty sure you guys can find a better one in the open world. Military 870 with 11% shotgun damage, 9% damage to armor, and 6% damage to targets off cover with pumped up. Classic M1A with Future Perfect. This one has rifle damage, crit hit damage, and optimal range. Wyvern gloves with skill damage, crit chance, and skill tier. Walker Harris knee pads. These ones have hazard, crit damage, and weapon damage. So if you guys are trying to make a hazard damage to armor build, I would recommend picking these up just to have them in your stash box. Defense Protocol Stamina with 8.5 shock resistance. Delivery System upgrade for the Seeker Mine, which is 4.1 damage. Dielectric Elastometers for the damage bonus per enemy, which is 4%. The Microfiller Resin, which is for the Firefly, which is max targets. And the Decoy Projector Internals, which is for the duration for the decoy. And that's going to be about it for the Theater Settlements. The next location is going to be the Campus Settlements. This week she's selling Ekham's Longstick, which has magazine size, headshot damage, and 12% marksman rifle damage with Perfect Ranger. If you guys obviously don't have this, I'd recommend picking it up, but you could always farm for one in the loot allocation area. Hunting M44 with eyeless crit chance, headshot damage, and marksman rifle damage. Black Market M60 E6 with damage to armor, LMG damage, and damage to targets off cover, which is almost max. Raleigh's holding with max skill damage, so if you guys need max skill damage, I'd recommend buying this mask just to add it to your stat library. D&H, holster with explosive resistance, weapon damage, and stats effects. Utility system assist for skill duration, which is 8.3. The metal string for the burn strength for the chem launcher. The blend for the healing for the restore hive for the hive in general. Exploding blueprint for the 14.5 health for the pulse. And the trap electronics upgrade for the shock radius. And that's going to be it for the campus settlement. Alright guys, next up on the list is going to be the Dark Zones. We're going to be starting at DZ West as usual. If you guys are new, keep this in mind, you will need a different resource. You can acquire this resource by deconstructing gear in the DZ and extracting it, or opening little tiny boxes scattered around the Dark Zone that give you 1 credit per opening. This week he's selling the backup boomstick, which has vindictive, damage to targets of cover, damage to armor, and max shotgun damage. Tactical SASG 12K, which has Optimus, magazine size, damage to armor, and shotgun damage. Urban MDR, damage to armor, crit hit damage, and rifle damage with fast hands. Negotiators, Future Initiative, that they look like negotiators. Gloves, so if you guys don't have these, I'd recommend picking them up before the raid today, which is going to be released on the 30th, which is today, so if you guys don't have this, I'd recommend buying them. Skill tier and armor generation. Ace and Nate's knee pads with stats effective weapon damage. Sokolov gloves with weapon damage, headshot damage, and skill damage. Badger Tough with 134,000 armor, skill haste, and armor generation. Defense protocol stamina with blind and death resistance. The phosphorus ingredient for cluster mines for the Seeker. The dialect lash matters for the deflect damage. The alignment valve for the Firefly, which is skill haste. The decoy projector internals, which is for the duration for the decoy, and that's going to be it for DZ West. Next up is DZ South, and this week she is selling an invisible Hain as well. This one's actually a little bit better, I think, because it has a damage to targets of cover. But other than that, I mean, there's 2 for sale this week, depending on which one you want to buy. MP7 with crit damage, crit chance, SMG damage, and measured. A Honey Badger with rate of fire, health damage, assault rifle damage, and on empty. Military M9 with ranger, magazine size, and pistol damage. Ongoing directive backpack with weapon damage, explosive resistance, and empty utility mod slot. Negotiator chest piece with weapon damage and stats effects. A max armor unstoppable force 511 backpack. Richard Kaiser chest piece with efficient. Offense protocol 4.4 crit chance. Trauma analyzer for extra bombs for the drone. SHD CPU for the turret. And the improved sticky launcher for the sticky bomb. And that's going to be it for DZ South. Alright, the final DZ on the list is going to be DZ East. And this week, she is selling the Commando Sniper Rifle. It has damage to armor, headshot damage, and marksman rifle damage. Classic M44 carbine with first blood. Black Market M60E6 with preservation. Negotiator's Dilemma Mask, which has 11% weapon damage and skill damage. Hardwired holster, which has skill tier weapon handling. Raleigh's holding mask with weapon handling, weapon damage, and armor generation. Fenrir's holster with crit damage, weapon damage, and skill haste. Utility protocol intensity for repair skill, which is 16.2. The disintegrated links for the launcher, which is the chem launcher, which is 5.8 skill haste. Steel harness for the Stinger Hive for the Hive in general for 4% range. Healing mantle, which is 5% skill haste, and the trap electronics upgrade for the duration. And it's going to be it for DC East. Next up is going to be New York. Alright guys, the first vendor in New York this week is selling an F2000 with max damage to armor with ignited. Model 700 with max marksman rifle damage with Future Perfect. Marine Super 90 with Ranger accuracy, damage to armor, and shotgun damage. A D50 if you guys want to craft the Liberty pistol. Providence chest piece with tamper proof with 2 yellows and a red. Sokolov gloves with 2 yellows and a red as well, which is weapon damage. China Light Industries holster, which has 2 reds and a yellow. So apparently this vendor likes yellows and reds. Offense System Firearms Mod, which is 4.4 crit chance. Defense Protocol Resilience, which is 8.5 bleed resistance. Carbon Fiber Barrel, which is 5.9 duration for the turret. Unstable Oscillator for the radius for the pulse. And the Decoy Housing Shell for health for the decoy. And finally is going to be the last vendor, and that's going to be right around this corner. And if you take a right, you will see Roy Benitez at the very bottom of the hallway. And he's right here. This week he's selling a Vector with Satis, magazine size, crit chance, and SMG damage. L86 LSW, which has Optimus swap speed, damage destructive cover, and LMG damage. M1A with InSync. X45 Tactical with Prepitation. Wyvern chest piece with max explosive resistance if you guys are looking for that. Walker Harris, which has max weapon handling on knee pads if you guys are also looking for that. So if you guys need 2 stats, you can add these to your library. Next is going to be Raleigh Holding Holster, which has health, weapon damage, and armor. Or armor generation, that is. Utility System Assist, which is Skill Haste. Defense Protocol Stamina for incoming repairs. Delivery System Upgrade for Skill Haste for the Seeker. Swarm Control for the Hive, which is 7.7 health. And the Trap Electronics Upgrade, which is for the Shock Radius. But that's about it, guys. Sorry if I sounded a little bit different. I recorded this very, very early, if you guys are wondering. So I'm usually not up this early making vendor reset for you guys. I usually upload later in the day. But since the raid is today, I decided to upload this early for you guys so you guys can see what they're selling this week. But thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more Division 2 content, and I'll catch you guys all later.